city. You are unlikely to know about the existence of this city unless you live in or near it. This is a very ordinary city, of which there are many. From the west and east, the city is bounded by two rivers, one of which is navigable, and the other is home to mutant fish. There is a nuclear power plant on the northern outskirts of the city. It has no name, but among themselves the residents of the city call it accident and associate it with the birth of freaks and geniuses. To the south of the city there is a secret military base, which is known to all residents of the city and surrounding villages without exception. Everyone has long been accustomed to night tests of new types of aircraft. They are often mistaken for UFOs and night exercises, and they sleep peacefully to the sound of commands and the noise of engines, and in the morning they find crop circles. One day, a real UFO got into the convoy of our planes. He landed at the military base just like everyone else. The ship was disassembled for spare parts. The aliens disappeared in an unknown direction. The case was classified. There is a huge park in the city, called the Terrible Forest by the locals. It's so old that no one knows who planted it or when. The trees there are old and mossy. Moss covers the ground with a thick layer. The sounds are drowned in moss. The terrible forest makes a terrifying impression. Terrible things are said about it, but they do not make up even a fifth of what is really happening there. Corpses are often found there, but even more often they are not found. The screams are drowned in moss, and he buries the bodies securely. There is a mirrored pond in the park. Lilies are blooming there. Previously, lovers often came here, collected lilies and swore eternal love, but after a werewolf appeared in the park, it became dangerous. Now the young men, as a sign of eternal love, bring lilies from the mirror pond to the ladies of their hearts. Few people come back. I know a girl who sent an annoying admirer after lilies, not hoping for his return, but he returned with lilies and terrible teeth marks on his arms and chest. From him, everyone learned that the werewolf was a huge silver wolf, and not a big three-headed rat, as everyone believed, with malachite eyes. He did not tell anyone that he recognized his comrade in the wolf. And soon he became a werewolf himself. A wide highway runs in a straight line through the whole city. Leaving the city, she gets lost in the distance in the directions of north and south. In the west, such a road would be called a highway, in Germany it would be an Autobahn, and in our country it would be a motorway. And you can reach great speeds on it. The young and winged often go out on the highway and fly away forever at breakneck speed, leaving no news of themselves. It happens that they find out about their future fate from the TV news. Geniuses are indeed often born in the city, and the accident is really to blame. So one day, twin brothers and sister took to the track. Now there are two presidents in our country at the same time, and there is a rare harmony between them. There is a train station in the city. Strangely enough, few people know that the rails radiate from the city like the sun's rays or the threads of a giant spider's web. The city's train station becomes the starting point for high school students who danced all night at the prom and spray-painted everything they think on the walls of their schools from the first to the last floor. Schools in this city are regularly repainted after each graduation. They scatter across the country like bright rays and illuminate with their presence the place where they appear, at least for a short time. Every day in the city starts the same way. The red sun rises from behind the river and illuminates the outskirts with their one-story houses with long, searchlight-like rays. Then the residential areas, the city center and the terrible forest remain unlit for the longest time. Then the city partly wakes up for a new day, partly falls asleep after a sleepless night, and the outskirts rather fall asleep than wake up. Sleeping areas rather wake up than fall asleep, and the center just wakes up. He has no time to sleep during the day. The sun illuminates the rivers, and the city is filled with sunbeams. The accident casts a long, scary shadow to the west, and the terrible forest looks less frightening. Human flows flow in different directions, and behind each person stretches an endless thread, a spider's web. It stretches along all the routes that a person walks, intersects and intertwines with other threads, and then a person feels vague anxiety or expects something. But for the most part, people are too busy with everyday activities to feel the intertwining of threads. And each of them, in fact, weaves a web. There are people who still understand this, albeit very vaguely. Like this girl, for example. She often walks alone and in the last few days has been in a state of expectation of a miracle. She knows about cobwebs and what happens when routes cross, but she doesn't know anything about who's coming around the corner or whose thread her thread is entwined with. There are 58 seconds left until their meeting. The day in this city passes in the usual bustle and is tending towards evening. The setting sun is very red, and it paints the city in bloody tones. The evening city makes a terrifying impression on visitors, while the locals generally react calmly, only trying to avoid the terrible forest. Also, at sunset, people try to stay away from the outskirts. No one thinks about the fact that local gangs don't attack there, they live there. So the outskirts are the safest place at sunset and at night. Now the townspeople are trying to be more careful. A gang of vampires led by the red-eyed beauty Nicoletta has become active again. For some reason, their appearance is not associated with an accident, and rightly so. This is not a mutation, but a rare variant of the norm. No one had heard anything about this gang for a while. They had a conflict with the gang of Mad Alex. During one of the collisions, Nicolette cut him badly. Brass knuckles with retractable knives are a good thing after all, and Alex almost died. The scars on his severed wings hadn't really healed yet, and then there were the deep knife wounds. It's all over now. Nicoletta and Alex are together. They even say that they have a child who looks ridiculously similar to both of them. Their gangs have joined forces and are keeping the city in suspense again. The madman's wings are growing back. It's not the first time they've been cut off, but the accident is taking its toll, and soon he'll be able to rise above the city again. It's getting dark. The stars are coming on. Another day passed. So weeks, months, years, and centuries pass. The sun also rose over two rivers when there was no sign of the city. There was also a bloody sunset when the envoys of the 5 friendly galaxies planted a terrible forest. And after 12 centuries, a city was founded here. May 21st, 2004.